Okay, so we're going to go over your homework from last night if you want to get out your sheets. A couple questions I noticed we did pretty poorly on. First question we're going to look at is this one here. 3 to the negative second times 3 to the negative 8. Common wrong answer was 1 over 9 to the 10th. What's wrong with 1 over 9 to the 10th?
They multiply 3 times 3, but you're just supposed to add the exponents.
Yeah, why don't we multiply the 3 times the 3?
Because with exponents, just saying that's number times that many times. If you just add the exponents because you're just multiplying that number that many more times.
Good, okay. Do you want to?
They're like terms, so you don't have to change them.
Okay. What do we call this 3? Yeah?
Constant.
No?
No, base.
Base. The 3 is the base. So it's not really a 3 though, right? Because it's really a 3 squared. And is that the same thing as 3 to the 8th?
No.
No, so we can't really multiply the bases together. So what should this answer be? 3 to the negative 10th, right? Because negative 2 plus negative 8 is negative 10, which we write as
1 over 3 to the 10th.
1 over 3 to the 10th. Okay?
What problem is that?
That was number 4, I believe.
How many questions were there?
20. That was number 4. But now let's take a look at this question here. This is 5a to the 3rd times 5a to the negative 5th. Common wrong answer here was 1 over 5a to the negative 2nd. What's wrong there? Yeah.
The 5, if you're multiplying 5 by a to the negative second, so the 5 is positive, so you put it on the top.
Okay, so you think it should be 5 over a to the 2nd? Which was another common wrong answer. What's still wrong about this answer? Yeah.
To multiply the 5s.
Why are we multiplying the 5s?
To distribute
No, not the distributive property.
They're not bases.
Good, they're not bases. Here, the 3 is actually the base of that power. What's the 5 here? Not the constant. What do we call that? The coefficient. So because it's not part of the base, we can multiply together. What rule allows me to multiply those together? Property. Commutative property. I can actually rewrite this as 5 times 5 times a to the 3rd times a to the negative 5th, right? Because that's not actually part of the power. Yep.
So am I supposed to tell if we're right or wrong?
Yeah, mine told me if I was right or wrong.
Yeah.
That's why you're all here with me now. Okay, so let's keep going over this and then we can talk about that. So let's finish this problem. So 5 times 5 is 25. Now what's going to be the next part of this? Yep.
A to the 3rd plus a to the negative 5th, which would be a to the negative 2nd.
A to the negative 2nd. So then how do I rewrite this using only positive exponents? Yep.
25 over a squared.
25 over a squared. Okay? So we see the difference here, base versus coefficient? Okay. Another question that was pretty ugly.
Oh, what is it called?
11g squared divided by g to the negative 4th. Where do I start?
You can put 11g squared on the top.
Okay.
And you can pause
Okay. Yep.
You have to do g squared minus g to the negative 4th.
Okay.
Which is
Let's
2
always
minus
start with the coefficients. Let's always start with the numbers. So we have 11 here. So does anything happen to the 11? No. So our 11 is going to continue over into our answer. We don't have to simplify that. What's the rule when you're dividing powers?
You have to subtract
Subtract what?
the
Exponents. So let's actually write that down. 2 minus negative 4. What's 2 minus negative 4?
positive 6.
Positive 6. So 11g to the 6th. And do I need to do anything to that answer? Nope, because it already has a positive exponent. Common wrong answer here was 11 over g to the 2nd. What's wrong with that? What did people do wrong? Yeah?
They did -4 minus 2.
Yeah, somehow that subtraction problem got messed up. So that's why I'm going to really encourage you to write out that subtraction piece so you can see it a little bit more clearly and hopefully catch your mistakes there. And let's look at this other one. This one was 3% correct. 3%.
Is that just our class or
Nope,
out of all?
all pre-algebra. 3x to the 3rd divided by 10x to the negative 3rd. Common wrong answer, I'll tell you, was 1/2. So let's see how we can come up with 1/2 and why that's wrong. Yep.
That you divide 10 by 5 and you get 2.
Well, let's remember we can break up this fraction as 5/10 times x to the 3rd over x to the negative 3rd. So you can separate out the coefficients, right? How do you simplify 5/10? 1/2. Right? Okay. And now what do I do with those exponents? Yeah?
You have to subtract -3 from 3.
So 3 minus -3. What is 3 minus -3?
6.
Positive 6. So where does my x to the 6th go? In the numerator. And again, we don't usually use coefficients of 1. So really this is x to the 6th over 2. 1x to the 6th is not wrong, but we don't usually use a coefficient of 1. Yep. So, what went wrong to get 1/2?
They saw that it was 3 and -3, and they thought if you should add them together, it'd be easier. So
Yeah.
the brain just told them to have 0.
Yeah. Again, we have to be really, really careful with that subtraction piece. Yep.
My computer told me to try it around and had hint buttons, and I didn't know because I did the wrong thing. So I pressed hint, and my friend Nick checks me later. How do you do that? What's the answer to the problem? And I tell him what I had, and then he asked.
You
I
gave
still don't get
him
it.
the
No,
answer?
No. I stepped him through, and he said I still don't get it. So I walked him backwards. But he kept saying no. It's 1/2, but.
Okay, but but now you can explain it, right? When you subtract the exponents, 3 minus -3 is positive 6. All right, so those were the 4 that were, as a class, awful. What other questions do we have? Any other ones that you got wrong that you want to look at together? Nope, yep. What'd you
I
find?
got stuck on number 12.
Number 12? Okay. So we have 2 to the 5th divided by 2 to the 7th. What's the rule when we're dividing powers? So 5 minus 7 equals -2. So this is 2 to the -2nd power. And how do we rewrite that using only positive exponents?
1 over 2.
There you go. The other thing that you could do with this kind of a problem is that, this is using the shortcut method. You could always go back to our original method where you list it out. Right? And then cross off. Okay? So that method will always work as well.
Well, that's what I did for that problem.
Yeah, sometimes we do it to check.
To double check? Awesome. Any other questions? Fabulous.